All right, we're on.
Testing.
What's up, guys?
Sorry, we're so late. We're losers.
So it turns out something's going on with our internet, which is why we had last week's episode, the audio and the video weren't quite synced up. So first person that is seeing this, if you can just hop on, chat, and please let us know if our audio video situation is okay.
Yep. Sorry, we're so late.
I've been fighting with this thing for 15 minutes trying to get this going.
Hey.
What's up, guys? Go ahead and hop in the chat. Please let us know how the audio and video is. If I need to make any bandwidth adjustments, now would be the time before we kick this thing off. Hopefully everything's good. Crossing my fingers. Please, please, please. Gotta love there's like a 30-second delay from the time that we talk.
Yeah.
Till the time that I actually see it.
Yes, it's great. Sounds good.
All right, we'll roll with it.
Yeah, we're just gonna.
We'll roll with not too bad.
Not too.
All right, what's up, guys? Chaz
and Trista
here for episode number. I didn't even look it up. Is this number 8, 7?
Something.
7-ish, 7 maybe 8. Who cares?
We'll keep track.
We don't have like a big topic that we're gonna do tonight, but we obviously last night was Halloween. We are going to be moving our weekly show to Tuesday nights. Yay. But last night was Halloween.
Later. So like later than
yeah, it'll be a later time
5 o'clock that we normally do. It'll be like Thursday or Tuesday, like we're thinking 7-ish.
Yeah. A little bit later.
Our time. So
and that's Pacific time, so it's 10 o'clock for you East Coast people. We just found that based on feedback we were getting from people, they want a later time, so we're going to push that back and meet that demand.
Yep.
So we're excited to be able to do that. So it is going to be on Tuesdays just because there's so many live shows going on Thursday nights already.
Yeah.
Like we tune into people's shows too. So while we're doing a show, there's other ones.
There's other ones going on. And we're like, oh, we got to go back and watch the recording.
Yeah. So we're going to try to split it up a little bit so everyone can make it to everyone's live shows. Cause we've got some great YouTubers and podcasters that put out some great content. So aside from that, we don't have like a specific agenda for tonight. We just wanted to kind of cover, I guess, entrepreneurship in general and just do kind of live Q&A for you guys. Mm-hmm. So whether that is Amazon, eBay related, whether it's entrepreneurship in general, I love talking about self-employment and entrepreneurship and mindset, just because, you know, we, especially friends and family, like we tell a lot of people that we know, like, hey, we work for ourselves, we work out of our garage, and like, oh my gosh, you guys are so lucky.
Or they think we're like a fraud and we're it's a front like, for like money laundering.
You guys are just scamming something somewhere. Right. I love talking about that stuff though, because while most people from the outside looking in think like, wow, you're so lucky, you get to hang out with each other all day. Like there's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes and this is tough. So we just want to kind of bring that to light and kind of open this up. I've got wine. So if you guys see fruit flies and me like trying to punch them in the face, they infuriate me. Infuriate. Oh, infuriate.
Infuriate.
I feel like I came up with the word.
I
came up with the word last week too.
Infuriate me.
Can somebody start taking notes of Chaz's words that he makes up?
You're not that important.
Hey, it could be merch ideas. All right, guys. So welcome.
Yeah, and we don't have a ton of time tonight, so get those questions out now so we can just
cut straight to it. Live Q&A session. Go.
Yep.
So if you guys got questions, drop them in the chat. I know that we had some on Facebook, possibly Instagram. Could you open up the Instagram post I did?
Sure.
Under Side Hustle Pros, maybe.
So to get this started, who's ready for Christmas?
Booyah,
like
booyah.
Literally, I was on Instagram last night while laying in bed with Ty, and already people are like decorating for Christmas. They're already talking about Christmas, like
Walmarts
Christmas carols. Packed. You're gonna hear Christmas carols in the stores. What do you think? Like
probably this
2 weeks tops. Maybe next week. I think next week.
I'm gonna sing Christmas carols.
You don't.
I'm gonna go to Walmart.
Like Christmas carols.
It's because you play them for 6 weeks every year.
I'm that person.
I'm fine for like 2 weeks,
totally
but after that,
person.
It's like the second Thanksgiving Day is done. Yep. It's Christmas music for the next 6 weeks.
Yep. So okay. Yeah. So
why don't you open up? I'll ask you a question.
Oh no.
How about this? What was the hardest part about let's do this. Let's backtrack.
Okay.
What did you think it would be like that moment when it led up to when you came home in tears, like ready to quit your job? And we joked like, well, okay, let's try it. And then we did it.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably had like this idea in your head, what you thought it would be like to work at home,
Mm-hmm.
especially because you've seen me do it for a couple of years, versus what it was actually like when you got into it. I think that'd be interesting.
I had no idea what to expect when I first started working at home. I was just, I don't know, I guess I thought I'd just be doing whatever you needed me to do. I didn't think it would be like, I was still in that employee mindset for a little while. I was still waiting for you to just be like, hey, these are the things I need you to do today. Or this
we actually
is
had
like,
arguments about
this
that.
is your checklist for the day.
Remember when
I was like okay with that. I was really fine with having
you
like
wanted
a
to be
boss,
an employee,
basically. Like I didn't know. I'd like helped him with a few shipments, but not really. Like I literally helped him peel stickers.
She had no idea what Amazon was.
So it was just a lot of like I mean, I saw what you did and I thought like, oh, this is not that hard. I could totally do this.
Yeah.
And I worked at a medical office doing patient care, and it was kind of intense patient care. So yeah, I mean, I just thought like, oh, it'll be easier than my job. So why not?
You probably thought you had more free time too.
I don't know. Like Titus came along and my free time just went away.
That's true. Little ones do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna punch him.
I don't think you can see him in that.
Might.
So yeah. I mean, I guess I thought like I'm just gonna come home and peel stickers and put things in boxes. But what the reality is that you come home and realize that there's no one behind you going, is this done yet? Is this done? So then you have to be the driving force behind your work. And
your bank account asks if it's done.
Yeah, your bank account reflects whether you get your stuff done or not.
It shows no mercy. If you don't work, you don't get paid.
Yeah.
Like a regular job, you can show up and you can do bare minimum work and collect a paycheck.
Yeah.
Like that's what most 9-to-5 employees, that's what I did. Like you worked your tail off, but I was typical lazy, did bare minimum work, just not get fired and collect my paycheck. But man, the second you become self-employed, like you don't do work, you might get away with it for a little bit.
Yeah. But
when you have $0 coming in for like 4 weeks,
that's the scary
That's
thing.
painful because we've been there many times. Like it is scary shit when you have 0 coming in, or even worse when you see red. That's always fun. All right, should we dive in some questions?
Yeah, we've got a lot of questions already.
Q&A, people, drop them below.
Any thoughts on Chris Myers? Wants to know.
Seller list versus inventory lab. I have not personally messed around with the Excel list yet. But based on feedback of people that I know and trust, I'm probably going to ditch inventory lab and go to Excel list. With that being said, I have not toyed around with it too much yet.
Yeah.
I just know that it's a much cheaper option for what inventory lab does. There's certain things right now that inventory lab still does with workflow that Excel list cannot. And that's been my one hang up. But once I switch over and keep you guys posted on that, I'll do a full tutorial video, all that fun stuff. Of course, we'll have an affiliate set up for that. So if you want to use our code to sign up, at the time, we don't have anything set up. So I don't have much to compare to.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't compared it, but we love inventory lab for what it is. Yeah. You know, we've
been using it for almost 2 years.
For almost 2 years
since we started.
It's awesome. Yeah, we would definitely things would be a lot harder if we didn't use inventory lab. So we'll have to see how it goes as far as
that just made me think. I didn't know about inventory lab, and I didn't know it's out of reach, so I can't grab it. I didn't know about USB barcode scanners either. When I did that pallet.
So
oh man. So my first pallet, the bulk unboxing that you guys all saw. So what you don't see is I did not know what a USB scanner was, so I had to physically type in those UPC codes. I had to type those into the Seller Central and one at a time list all these things and then create the shipment through Seller Central. I didn't know what Inventory Lab was that first month. So when I used Inventory Lab and a USB scanner, I literally saved like 2 hours on the pallet timing on my second pallet. But that was, looking back, that was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Having to sit there manually punch in. I think it was 100 items. So it doesn't take long. You know, if you think like 30 seconds to punch in times 100 items, like that's
a long time to me.
That starts to add up.
Yeah.
So that was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inventory Lab though, it's right now best on the market.
Lucretia, I hope I'm saying this right. I'm terrible with names. So she's gonna go on her own with eBay, and it sounds like this is gonna be it for your income. Any advice? I would say absolutely 100% be consistent every single day. I don't know how old your account is or how much experience you have. I mean, those things play a role in the, you know, how reliable your eBay income can be. You know, if you have already proven to yourself in the last 6 months that you can make X amount of dollars doing these actions every single day, you know, you already know what you need to know. It's just being consistent. So
yeah, and more in depth, like your listings, like your consistency on your listing. And this is all based on the premise, like we really need to sit down and do our eBay for Beginners video series.
We're working on it.
So it's in the works. We have notes. We just need to sit down and record. Obviously leg situation has held back a few things. But anyways, a big thing with your consistency is your listing. eBay's algorithm is going to favor your listings if they know that you are listing daily consistently. Now, you know, you can get away with every other day or something like that, but it's just consistency over the week versus if you have 100 items, eBay is going to much rather you take 10 items every day for 10 days and list those rather than do 50 on Monday, 50 on Tuesday, and you're good for the week. eBay and they have that drop, and then you come back on week 2 and maybe do the same thing. Take up your items, split them throughout the week, and start listing consistently like that in smaller doses, just because it triggers the algorithm to know what you're doing with your consistency, and they do favor you that way.
But that doesn't mean like you can. So for instance, I do all of my photos and measurements and, you know, whatever details I need to do with those items. I do those initially, and then I just space my listings out throughout the week. So, you know, you can take a whole day and photograph and then spread those items out throughout the week. I mean, you can if you want to, but I feel like it's just going to take you so much longer if you're photographing 10 items in the morning, getting them up, photographing the next day, getting those listings up. Depends on your time management and what you want to do. I would also say, I saw this from another reseller who sells on eBay pretty exclusively. She takes just a dry erase calendar, and she'll write down the goals for each day. So she wants to get 20 listings up that day, and then she'll mark down if she hit her goal or not. I think that's so cool. Any way that you can find just little tactics to motivate yourself to hit your goals every single day is the best.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Does that help out? Because if you have any deeper, more specific questions, please drop those below.
Yeah.
What are the best sites to buy lots? I guess it depends on where you want to sell.
Yeah.
Because if you want to sell on eBay, man, you can go to any lot website and find stuff to flip on eBay. Amazon, on the other hand, because of Amazon's condition guidelines and the authenticity chain that you have to follow, very, very few companies I would recommend for lots. I would shy on the very, very cautious side with doing any lots on Amazon unless they are specifically new condition shelf pull or overstock. They have not been sold to customers before, and you have proof of authenticity.
You have to have some kind of manifest or
UPC breakdown, itemize, like you have to have that stuff. There's a lot of companies out there, they'll give you one invoice for the whole pallet and it does not show itemized. things, and I used to make the mistake of putting those things on Amazon. They sold because Amazon wasn't that strict back then, because it's a different ballgame 2 years later.
You can't get away with that now.
Than it was back then.
Yeah.
It was kind of wild west. There wasn't even brand restrictions back then. Like I could walk into Walmart, scan any item, and I was not restricting anything. That's how it was for all sellers.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit tougher. So as far as lots, you have to be really.
That didn't mean that you wouldn't get like an IP claim.
Oh yeah, you still get.
I mean,
IPs
you can
and all
still
that.
you could still get an IP claim, but
Yeah.
I want to talk about authenticity with eBay.
Oh jeez. Y'all want to hear a mistake I made?
Not that I love to point out your mistake.
Did I make that last night?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So he came in the house, he's all excited. He like bops in the house.
I'm an eBay clothing newbie, by the way, like right now. I was so pumped for something I found because it was a $70 buy cost. I was gonna flip it. It was worth like the tag said $5.95.
Yeah, the tag said that.
$5.95, and there were current listings up for about $300 to $400.
Mm-hmm. So I took one look at this thing. I took one look at this thing and immediately recognized that it was absolutely fake.
Do we have it?
It's right
somewhere
there. I got to take it back to the store. So immediately I look at the tag. This is not what you think it is. He was like, no, check it. I have to, you don't understand. The margins are too good.
I was so pumped.
So this vest.
I was in Ross. I was picking up a bunch of shoes.
That's a really good point that I'm going to make, is that you're probably not going to find genuine Coach in Ross.
It's a Coach, what's this called? Dive bomber jacket?
It's a bomber jacket vest thing.
But look at this. Look at this. Oh, that just broke off. Here. That makes it easy.
Dude.
We'll just put it back on. $5.95.
So
as a clothing newbie, I was so excited.
Yeah. How did I know that this is not correct or real?
If we have a Coach expert in the house,
yeah, I want to
prove this is authentic. I'm gonna be so happy.
Get out of town.
Although I just kind of tore the tag off. Whoops.
So, Coach, I mean, ladies, you know, this is not a Coach tag. This is a leather strap. And then to make the cherry on top. Oh, this is my favorite part. This is the. I hope it will focus. Do you see that? You see that? That is so fake. It doesn't say Coach underneath. It says on an authentic, it'll say Coach New York. And so the reason I'm bringing this up is that some people think that you could just sell anything on eBay, and that is not true.
I got scolded. She's like, you know that's fake, right?
Oh, man. You cannot just sell anything on eBay. eBay still wants this standard for their customers. If they think they're getting Coach, then you better be selling Coach. And there's obviously ways that you can prove you can get it. You can open an account with a wholesale, go through the actual manufacturer. You have to have some kind of paper trail saying this is actually what I say it is. And we just had not the Ross paper trail.
I make mistakes too.
And these discount stores, I don't know where they get their stuff. To be honest, I really don't. But I can guarantee they're not checking for authenticity. And to protect your account, you really should be. So
that's why I have my manager over here. I have to run things by.
So, and this was a really big issue. We had a big issue come up in one of our groups about this sourcing on Chinese manufacturer websites. If you know,
can I say something to that real quick? If you go to any of the Chinese websites, Alibaba, AliExpress, anything, 1688.com, if they have any US brand names, they're fake. I don't care if it looks like the same Jordan, they're fake.
Yeah, there's
any Chinese website.
Like I said, you have to be able to prove that you're buying what you or selling what you say you're selling. So anyway,
I won't drop it now, but there's a mistake that was my number one mistake I've ever made as a reseller. I'm not gonna drop it yet, but I'll drop it soon-ish in an official video.
I'm trying to think of what it is.
Oh, there's no way.
I mean, I'm sure I know what it is, but okay, keep talking.
You really don't know which one I'm talking about.
No, I think I know.
I'll share it. I'll share it down the road. I want to do an official video as like my fails of the year, and that's going to be probably the number one. We lost money on that big time.
Yeah. Okay, so Chris is picking up a lot of books.
2,000 books.
Wow.
From a private seller for $200. Good price. What would you do with the books that aren't worth anything on FBA selling? For some reason, some books do sell really well on eBay. So if you, I mean, it's time consuming, but you can check on eBay.
It's super time consuming.
You can also go find local bookstores that will buy them from you. You could just do a bulk deal from them.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't promise you'll get your $200 back just on the leftovers. But you know, if you get $50,
yeah,
you get $50, or just donate it.
Just donate them and write a receipt.
Keep the receipt for it, and then you can use that as a charitable donation for your write-off.
Yep. We had we did the same thing. We bought 5,000 books from a reseller down the street who had been reselling for a long time. She'd only done books on Amazon. And how long had she had her account for? Like 10 years or something? It was a long time.
I think it was 10. I think it was 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a good amount of time.
It was a good amount of time, though.
And she did it as a hobby. So she only had 5,000 books when she closed her store down, and she was right down the street. I have a little Mazda sedan, little 4-door. So I had to drive multiple times a day to fill up my car with these books. And it was down to my rims, so much weight in here.
Yeah.
And we had to run them through our garage and scan. We couldn't even scan. That was the thing. We couldn't even scan the barcodes into Inventory Lab because she had her old item label over the barcodes, so we had to manually type
in
every single title,
or take off 5,000 stickers. So that wasn't an option.
No, and
we would just sticker over hers.
And this, because I know somebody's already going to try to type it out, but this was before you can open up your phone and scan. Remember that update that Amazon Seller app has now? You can scan something with a picture.
This is
before that, so we had to physically type in every single title and author.
It was painful, and we probably. How many books did we really send in? We probably sent a fifth. Yeah, we probably got in about 1,000.
We kept about 900 books to send in out of the 5,000.
Yep. So, I mean, I don't know what your margins are going to look like, but
books are work.
Books are work, but a lot of people make a lot of good money that way. Yeah,
totally.
So.
Books are amazing if you know the right way to scale them. Like, shout out to our buddy Mike.
Yeah.
Mike's got a friggin' team now. He's got a sourcing team that goes out with him. He's got a team in his warehouse that does everything. So if you can scale the proper way, there's absolutely good money to be made.
Yep, for sure.
Books probably are some of the most amount of work in the Amazon world.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We are not from Miami, Enrique, so we cannot recommend a good CPA.
Yeah.
Start with Google in your local area and do free. Most CPAs will do some type of free consult for you. So if you need a CPA, just make a list of 3 of them, give them a call, tell them what you do. If you can find somebody who's familiar with the online reselling industry or just online sales in general, that has a knowledge base, they're going to be able to help you out a lot more than just a standard CPA. But go sit down with a few of them or hop on the phone with a few of them and see who you mesh with the best and who fits in your price point.
Yeah. Also, most areas have like a small business club or, like we can find ours through our Chamber of Commerce because we're a pretty small town, but there's got to be small business or entrepreneur clubs. And you never know.
Meetup.com.
Yeah, meetup.com.
Yeah. You
never know who you're going to talk to, who will know a person that you should talk to. So it's really a great idea to get involved with these communities because it's nice to have the online presence and you do get to meet a larger or a wider, span of people. But there's something about just helping people in your community and you'll find amazing resources if you put the time into it. So
yep. Selling manager or selling hub? I'm assuming eBay.
On that. eBay, I just use Seller Hub. I don't feel like it's that hard. There's stuff that I would totally change, but
James G in the house. Shout out to one of our Rockstars admins. eBay and Amazon FBA Rockstar admin. How do you get ungated on toys when you have recently started? Toys is not a gated category, but if you're scanning something that's in toys and it pops up with that big restriction, it means that the brand is going to be restricted. So number one, go into Seller Central, try to list that brand and just type in the brand and you'll see tons of toys.
Fisher Price.
And just
see what
hit
happens.
apply. Like Amazon has no rhyme or reason sometimes, but they do auto approvals. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. I think it has to do with a lot of your selling history and your performance metrics.
Yeah.
But you will want to just at least hit apply and see if it auto approves. We've been auto approved in tons of categories because of that. And tons of other people in our group have too. So that's number one. Number two is if you don't get auto approved, you need to go through the hoops of what they're asking. Typically, and it's a little different for every brand, so don't quote me on this, but typically you need either, that means you need either or, not most cases you don't need both. So either a letter of authorization from the brand itself saying you can be a reseller. Number two is you need at least an invoice with 10 items, minimum of 10 items on an invoice that shows, you know, all their business information. You need to put like the ACE and all that kind of stuff on there. So put a an order in with a legit, I'm going to say legit distributor or wholesaler directly from the manufacturer or a middleman who's a distributor.
There's tons of distributors. If you just put in
Google
I mean, you can probably find a dozen in your area.
Yeah.
You just have to put in the time.
If I'm going to do a plug, I haven't officially announced this on our main YouTube channel at all. I don't think we have, but we do have a VIP group. It runs at $10 a month, and we actually do give a list of a few distributors for those types of things. So we have a distributor that we just openly tell people about in that group, and they can get ungated in Disney and Star Wars and all those main toy brands. Again, that's a quick plug. If you need information on that, you need to message us directly. Instagram is Side Hustle Pros, or just go into Facebook, Charles Leslie, Trista Leslie, and we can help you get plugged in there. But if you want to do it on your own, Google is going to be your best friend. So if you want to get ungated in Mattel or Fisher Price, whatever, type in Mattel distributor, Mattel wholesaler, and you need to give Amazon what they're asking for, which is typically an invoice from a distributor wholesaler that shows a minimum of 10 items underneath that brand.
And see how difficult it is to go directly to the company instead of going through a distributor, because you're going to get the best price.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I mean, that's kind of it. There's no secret way to loop around that.
And you're a little person.
We got little man's home.
Oh, it's me.
What's up, buddy?
Mama, it's me.
You guys hear the growling? You want to come say hi to YouTube?
I'm trying to measure.
You all want to see the little man? Come here, buddy.
Okay.
Hey, come here.
I'm gonna read questions.
Come here. Nope, there he goes.
One or two things about Amazon FBA that you didn't know but wish you knew upon starting up.
He just comes in and starts sawing.
Say
you.
hi. What do you have? Oh my! Have you been working
He's got
today?
a saw. So
Okay.
funny. Which question did you ask?
What we wish we had known.
I want down.
In the beginning?
You want down? Okay.
Oh, here we go. One or two things about Amazon FBA that you know now but wish you known upon startup. I'm actually going to do a
I'll be right
video. I've had this on my video list for a while to talk about like the things we wish we knew. I think that'll be a really good one to do. I know for me, the first thing that comes to my mind is I wish I would have understood better the importance of not taking any of your capital out of Amazon. Because we've only been doing eBay as of this year. So when I started 2 years ago almost, holy crap. In 2 weeks, it will mark my exact 2-year mark. That's freaking nuts.
On to the road party.
That is nuts. We're going to do a party.
We have to send a shipment on that day.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyways, total squirrel.
Squirrel.
But 2
Shiny
years ago,
object.
like, you know, you send in a shipment to Amazon And I did really well on pallets back then because the market was not saturated with as many resellers as we have now. So I was able to go on to like bulk.com and all these different companies and make these purchases. And it was great inventory back then. And so
it was insane inventory.
yeah, the first pallet I got, I had paid, I think it was $600 for 100 toys. And that's with shipping. It was $150 shipping. So including shipping, it was $600. And once that checked in, I remember showing you like the $700 days. We made like $2,000 on that shipment.
Crazy.
And you had no idea what Amazon was still. You're just like, how did you make that?
Yeah, I thought when he told me about FBA, I was like, yeah, this sounds sketchy.
You're scamming you're scamming Walmart and Target?
To be honest.
So I remember specifically that shipment, like, you know, made like $2,000, and I'm like, holy crap, this is awesome. We have some play money. So I would take money from the business, and we would pay off debt and bills, and, you know, because we gotta eat and pay rent and all that stuff. So I would take money out and put it towards other things, even though we both had other streams of income, which we should have relied on more. Yeah. So if I can go back and redo anything, it's put 100% of your money, all your sales go back into inventory, back into the business. I kick myself in the ass every day. I wish I would have gone back and done that, because we would have been quadrupling what we're doing now. Yeah. I honestly believe that we would be doing quad.
Figure out what you need to survive, to live, keep a roof over your family and feed them and pay your bills. And then you need to figure out how much more you're going to need to put back into the business every month. And that's the kind of goal that you should be hitting before you decide to quit your job.
Yeah, so that's me on the Amazon side. You probably have like eBay have.
I mean, just being consistent. We've always to be honest, we've struggled sometimes with being consistent. You lose your fire after a while. It just happens. We're human? And weird. So finding, this is going to sound like so cheeseball, but find a success partner. Find someone who will keep you accountable. And that doesn't necessarily mean your spouse. I think we're probably more empathetic to one another. Like if I'm having a down month, he's like, you know, it's okay. You hit it hard last month. And that's not necessarily always what we need to hear. What, you know, you might need somebody who's like, you're having a bad day, tough shit, get up and get your work done, you know, like, so I don't know, find somebody who will, push you. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, we came back from our Rockstars cruise. I even told you, like, I'm legit going to find my own little personal success partner. Yeah. For the Amazon half. Just because you need someone or something to really hold you accountable.
The hard thing, I think the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur or working for yourself is that you don't ever get to shut your brain off from what you're doing. Like this, you eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. Yep. And people don't understand that, especially the people outside looking in. They just think we're working too hard or too much, or that, you know, we need to have lives outside of this. And it's really just that if you take your foot off of the gas pedal, your business will slow down. And that's how it goes.
Until you get to that turning point, kind of where we're at now, is like learning to outsource. Yeah. I'm talking a lot about outsourcing lately because we've been doing it in a lot of aspect. This morning, I am so freaking excited. I just this morning hired on a video editor.
He's going to start dancing soon.
I'm not going to have to edit my own videos anymore. Like that's been so time consuming, like 2-3 hours a day. So when you start to outsource smarter, then you can start to take the gas off certain aspects because other people have you. Other people that are typically stronger in those areas than you are.
Oh man, I totally messed up the whole.
Did you skip?
I scrolled down and I don't know what happened.
Scrolled too far.
Okay, let's see. Okay. Somebody's planning their PL. That is so exciting.
I'm so excited for PL. Got 1,000 PL ideas.
Chris, you're so cool.
You never say I'm cool. I just like the way you said that.
All right. All right. Okay, I'm back. We're back.
Back to the right spot.
Could you elaborate? Okay. You wrote about focus earlier on the Rockstar group. Could you elaborate on that? I'm getting lost. And it's just putting 100% of Amazon payout back into the business.
Yeah, so
that's exactly right.
I'll elaborate on that real quick. So Chelsea asked, so I did a post in our Rockstars group, and I could care less what anyone's opinion is of myself. Let me just put that out there. So when I say like numbers and shit, I know we always get the haters and all that. I could care less. So with that being said, I did a post in our Rockstars group earlier, and I just wanted to like summarize something. So today's November 1st, which means we wrapped up October. Did you see the poster? You have no idea where I'm going with this?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I just see you nodding like, what's he doing?
Yes, this sounds fun. I have no idea what kind of trouble you stirred up for yourself today.
So I did this post.
I've been working.
I took today off, actually.
You did.
Half of the day. So I did this post, and I'm reflecting on our October with Amazon and eBay. We hit a record month for our reselling career of almost 2 years now. We hit a record month of doing $22,000 in sales.
In sales. Let's be clear.
And that's what the post was.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't even see the post.
So and that's,
I already know where it was going.
And that's the exact reason why I did this style of post, because of that right there.
Oh,
so we did 22K, which for us was amazing. And I looked at, I'm curious, what did we do last year? So keep in mind, we weren't doing eBay last year. Mm-hmm. And by this time last year, I honestly don't know what the excuse was. Like we didn't even attempt Q4. We really the reselling business side of what we do was so small with such little focus because we were spread so thin.
Yeah, there were a lot of projects.
We, meaning me, I was the one that was spreading everything too thin. So here's the post I did. We did 22K in sales, which is amazing for us, and we're damn proud of that. Because we only worked 20 hours a week on average. We went on a freaking cruise. Yeah. That's what blows my mind. We took a week off, went on a cruise, and still pulled some good numbers. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm proud of those numbers, because we put in about 20 hours of work a week, and that's including like my drive time and all that. Because I know there's going to be the people like, well, specifically, how much did you pay in gas? And your mind, like, haters, go F off. Like, could
go
care
find
less.
Somebody else to troll.
So I did that post, and in there I put, okay, I looked at what we did last October. It was just shy of $2,500.
Woo!
Whoopee!
Wow. How did we survive?
I don't know.
How did we survive?
That was a tough time of year.
Basically a miracle that we're still married.
It's insane. So I did this post, and I said, okay, what was the one thing we did differently from last year at $2,500 for the month versus this year at 22K? It was one word, which is focus. Last year, I technically on paper can say I have 8 businesses. That's what I can write down on a piece of paper. We're all 8 businesses super successful and having cash flow and all this fun stuff with it? No, it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
We were super poor last year.
Well, and we were just like, he was so stretched thin, like everything was thin.
Oh
our
man,
businesses were thin, our relationships were thin. It was not cool.
Yeah, anyone who has been to a conference and you've heard me speak, I always touch on this point is making you a priority, because I was spreading myself so thin that our business was tanking. We had zero desire or ambition to really like do a big push like what we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. That tied into our relationship. I had put on like 30 pounds. Like I was in a bad spot mentally. And so the difference between last year and this year was focus. So what Chelsea was asking is, what specifically do I mean by spreading myself thin and focusing on Amazon? Me personally, for me, that means something different for each of you. So I can't give you like the answer. It's going to help you win. But for me, it was, I cut out a bunch of the side projects and side businesses that really were just eating up time and were having very little ROI. I just cut them out. I stopped with all of it. And so this year I said, you know what? I'm just going to focus in this order on Amazon and eBay first, and that takes up about 50% of what we do as a whole. The other half is going into the consulting, the affiliate marketing, the YouTube channel, the VIP groups that we run. So there's a lot of little working parts, but I just stopped focusing on the other side hustles. I stopped focusing on the other projects, and I started really getting consistent with our Amazon business. And now eBay is in there too. And that's what I meant by that comment of like getting focused. So yes, part of that was taking our capital and putting it back into Amazon, how it should have been last year. Because last year, like I talked about earlier, we would make some good paychecks, and I would put some of the paychecks back into Amazon, and then I would take out the rest to, you know, pay down credit cards, pay down debt, go out and have fun. Like, I was not being super focused and diligent with the money how I should have been. I should have been reinvesting, because that's how you grow. If you reinvest the same $1,000 every 2 weeks, you're going to get the same return on that $1,000 typically every time. So you need to invest 1,000, make 1,500, invest 1,500, make $2,000, spend $2,000, make 25. You guys see where I'm going with that? You need to invest and focus and scale up. That was the biggest thing that we're doing this year, is really just focusing. I'm not allowing myself to take on too many projects. I'm not allowing myself to withdraw money from Amazon and put it in other places. I'm being super like blinders on focus this year. That's how we're able to start getting our game back up. Does that make sense, Chelsea? Let me know. Would you suggest someone starting Amazon FBA, even if they can only put up a couple items at a time while accumulating capital to put back into it? Because I'm torn if I should do it. JFM development. I'm gonna scoot over here. There we go. Yeah, if you have any desire at all to run an e-commerce business, whether it's with Amazon or eBay, and you can only put up a few items, do it. Because it starts with $100. $100 turns into two turns into three turns into 1,000. But if you're going to do it, don't do what I just talked about. Like, don't put up a few items, make a few sales, and then you take that money and go blow it somewhere. Because then you're like, well, shit, I don't have any inventory, and now I have no sales. Because that's what we did for so long. So if you put up 2, 3, 4, 5 items, and you get those things to sell, you take that money and you go buy more items, and you keep scaling up. That's my recommendation for you. But you have to understand, like, this thing is not going to be easy. Entrepreneurship in general, not just Amazon, eBay, but entrepreneurship, this like journey to time freedom and self-employment, that laptop lifestyle, man, it's tough, and it never gets easier. You just get thicker skin, and you get better mentally. How frequently are we all sending FBA shipments now that Q4 is here? I am trying my best to get towards daily. I'm not quite there yet. Right now, realistically, I'm at about 3 a week. But I'm trying to get out every single day and go buy stuff now. And then I just hired on somebody that helps me with my prepping. So now I'm able to turn FBA shipments quicker. Again, outsourcing and getting smarter. I used to try to do everything myself. I would go out and source. I would stockpile stuff all week, and I would do one big shipment every Friday. And then I started thinking, I need to get more stuff turning quicker. So instead of letting my inventory sit here for 6 days until I can get to it, I'm able to get inventory. My prepper will do the shipment for me, and then I'm able to go out the next day and get more stuff. So that's kind of what we're working towards right now. Welcome, guys. We just had a little spike in people. If you are just hopping in here, we're just doing kind of live Q&A. So drop your questions below, and we will get to them. And I'm just going to keep going until we run out of questions, guys. I appreciate you all. That's why I'm going to keep my developer job. Yeah, you guys, I'm all about like helping people quit their jobs and stuff, but you've got to be smart with it. Like, another mistake we made, like, I'm going to do a full mistakes video. Would that be of benefit to you guys if I just did a full, like, here's our failures video? Another big one too was like, I think, it's a double-edged sword. It works both ways. I think it helped me win, but it also was a huge risk. I jumped, meaning I quit my job, and Trista quit her job probably a little too soon because we did not have much in savings. But because of that, our backs were against the wall so much that like we had no choice but to make this all work somehow. And all the little side hustles that we do, we had to make them work. We had no choice. There was no plan B. There was no secure paycheck coming in. So because our backs were against the wall, we made it work. That's why I called it a double-edged sword. But yeah, if you're in a job that you don't like and you want to quit your job and end up doing your own side hustle full time and quit your job, you need to really look at your financial setup. You need to know how much you need to pull in every month just to live, right? Cover the roof over your head, your utilities, food, gas, all that stuff. So take care of your financial needs first, your foundation, and you need to put that into savings. Like you should probably have at least 6 months of savings. If you don't pull in a dime, you need to be able to cover your butt for 6 months. And we didn't have that. So I think that was a big mistake. But at the same time, I'm not saying do this at all, but I'm just saying, you know, for us, we probably jumped a little bit too soon because we probably only had about 4 months worth of savings. And it was tough. We were in a bad spot for probably about 3 months until we kind of swung out of that. So hopefully that helps. And I mean, we know plenty of people that they still have a full-time job and they make an awesome killing on Amazon, eBay. But they like the security. I'll tell you that one thing, there is zero security the second that you leave your job. And I'm not saying that in a negative sense. I'm just saying, like, if you're one of those people that you really need a security blanket, you kind of have to get comfortable being uncomfortable in this world. Just found a Sony VHS DVD combo with VHS for $25, selling for Amazon $99 plus. Yes, Chris, I'm a big fan of VHS and DVD combos. Any of you guys watch our Flips and Finds series? I did a couple flips on Philips a few weeks ago. If you are selling a certain restricted toy, can you send in a receipt from the store that you bought it from? For example, Walmart, Toys R Us. Thanks, guys, for taking my question. In some weird cases, yes. I'm not saying it's going to work. It's probably not going to work for 99% of people or items, but Amazon has in some cases accepted the store receipts, but they do no. I'm going to say no right out of the gate. Like, get with a wholesaler or an actual distributor account, because that's what Amazon wants. Can you just do that like the rest of the show? No.
This is how I hurt my leg.
Yeah, you should not be dancing. What are you doing? Sit down.
I don't know if anybody knows. I'm sure everybody knows because Charles talks about it. But
she danced too hard.
I danced so hard. I dislocated my knee a couple weeks ago. So
James said hiring a VA is legit. I should have done it earlier. Yes. What am I drinking? Oh, we're drinking the same thing. Dark red blend. So good. Whoa.
I saw the label and I remembered that you liked it, but I couldn't remember if you liked.
I like all wines.
Which one? So I
don't
grabbed
discriminate.
The dark one.
I am not a discriminator.
I accept wine.
I accept all wines. I accept all beers. They're all amazing and beautiful.
In their own special
In
way.
their own special way. Wow, this chat thing does drop like straight to the bottom.
I told you, like, it's not my fault. Every time I touch it, I mess it up. And I don't even know what questions you've answered now. So
just a couple of them. Don't sweat the haters. I don't sweat the haters. It's funny. It's like when you put yourself up in the public eye, like I do.
Or just even not. Like, I can't tell you how many people I don't get along with just because we don't get along. What?
You guys hear the little one? Yeah, I love.
You want to come sit up here?
I love the topic of haters. I do consulting and help people like start their own YouTube channels and stuff now. And I tell them all the same thing. Like, in the beginning, you're going to take trolling comments and haters so personally. I used to like try to like fight back and do the keyboard warrior thing, but man, you hit a point where you just get thick skin and it's like people's opinions really don't matter. They really don't. So you learn to deal with it.
You want this one?
Yeah.
Q4, I am spread thin financially, waiting for next Amazon payout already. Have bills paid though. What is the best way to attack Q4 with a small budget? Talking about $2,000. What's your advice? So
eBay.
Yeah, eBay is a great one because eBay, if you make a sale, your your PayPal money is ready to go that day. Like
Yeah.
it's ready to go. Amazon, you have to wait the 2 weeks. So that's where, take how much your Amazon check is and spread it out and say, okay, I have X amount of dollars. So in your case, $2,000.
Mhm.
So I have to spread that over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. So that's one way to do it.
You can also cross post your items on Amazon to eBay.
Yep.
So you're widening your net of people who are, customers to market to. And then if you're doing FBA, then it's not costing you to ship. So
Totally.
that's a really, really nice way to hopefully catch more people during Q4.
Yep. Hi from Oregon. What's up? Which part of Oregon are you from? I have questions. I'm so confused. We've all been in the confused state. I am most days. Where is the place to start? Do I need some courses to start? I really like the idea of starting FBA. You do not need a course. Check 1, 2. Testing. Is this thing working? You do not need a course. I have provided any type of free advice that you need to start your FBA account and all that fun stuff.
And not just Charles. He has really great content, and it's pretty
there's
cut
so
and dry.
many. There's so many.
A lot. Even now, I always it blows my mind to think about how much more information there is now versus even 6 months ago. There's so much information.
Yeah.
You can waste your money and buy the course on, the beginners, or you could put that money towards actual inventory and just learn this stuff on your own. And it's really not that bad.
So literally go to our channel, Side Hustle Pros. There is a playlist called FBA for Beginners. I was the first person in the YouTube scene to do a screencast, right? I'm sharing my screen and showing step by step how to do your first Amazon shipment. It was made in 2015. All the information is still relevant. There's just one little part, which is box contents that I need to do an update video on. But the rest of it's all the same. And once you do it the first 2 or 3 times, man, it's cake after that.
Right.
You will learn more doing your first 5 Amazon shipments or your first 5 eBay sales than any book, any course, any video will ever teach you.
Yeah. And don't worry about getting, 10 boxes worth of stuff all, saved up to send out all at the same time. Get your first medium or even small box sent out. Just to, like Charles said, get the practice. You're going to learn the most in those first 5 shipments or, whatever, 10 shipments maybe, but you're going to learn the most upfront just doing the motions rather than waiting for all of this stuff to accumulate. And then you might get overwhelmed and just not do it at all. But at least your inventory is getting to Amazon and you can actually sell it. So
I like what Matt said here. FBA is only getting more difficult, 100% true.
Yep.
And more restricted, true. I beg you people not to buy classes, save your money and learn on your own. If you can't learn on your own, sorry, but you won't make it. And there's truth to that, 100%. Like I talked about earlier, like entrepreneurship in general, it's all a mindset thing. Like you have to be resourceful. Again, go look at that FBA for Beginners series I did. Episode number 1, before I talk about the specifics of FBA, I talked about mindset. And I talked about that exactly right there. You have to become resourceful, because if you can't learn to be resourceful and you're always relying on other people, what we love to teach you guys, but we want you to step up and take ownership of your own business too. So yeah, it's a different ball game. You have to step up to the plate and be on the offense with it. I am from Miami. My entire family is full of CPAs.
Yeah. So whoever was needing a CPA
there
in
you
Miami,
go. You guys go get connected.
You guys get talking. We're gonna have to wrap it soon.
We still got questions. I'm gonna keep going. I missed the beginning of the video. Are you getting products from China or the US? We do only retail and online arbitrage right now. Believe it or not.
We're looking into PL. We've got a few ideas, but nothing that we've made.
Yeah, we're not touching anything else until January. Again, we're trying to be like, we went down the rabbit trail of like, we started to get into PL and
we were really close.
We were really close. And then we started looking at numbers. I'm like, shit, if we order our stuff right now, it's not even going to be active on Amazon until like December.
Yeah.
So,
I think the rule of thumb for PL is that if you put in an order, you won't see any actual revenue from any of those products for 3 months.
Yeah,
is
about
that right?
2 to 3 months is what you're looking at. So one, your capital is
because-
tied up,
yeah.
and two, you're not going to see anything coming back, and your Amazon listing won't be really ready to go for at least 6 to 8 weeks. Sometimes even up to that 12-week mark. So we kind of went down that rabbit trail. We got sidetracked for a little bit, and I'm like, Q4 is like right here. We dropped the ball last year. We know how to do RA and OA. Like we know that game now.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to kill it, build up a nice little capital fund for ourselves. And then we have a couple PLs.
Yeah.
We're going to be starting in January.
We hosted a conference a couple weeks ago, and one of the things that Sean said was just to master what you're doing before you move on.
Mhm.
And although there's always stuff to learn, I feel like we're still in the middle of mastering what we're doing.
And the more you can master one type of sourcing,
Mhm.
the more you can start to automate that a little bit. So you outsource and start to hire on people to replace some of your tasks.
Yeah.
And then you can move on to something else, and that one's still running like an engine.
We use TA or tactical arbitrage.
100%.
We don't use OA X-ray.
So I will put a little asterisk
sorry.
here is tactical arbitrage. As of last night, I did a big post in our Facebook group. So if you missed it, I'm sorry, but tactical arbitrage did have a price increase. So they did go from $99 to $129. Now I can tell you from experience, tactical arbitrage will pay for itself within a week.
Mhm.
If you like get in there and learn the system.
Yep.
So we do have an affiliate set up for that where you can actually get a 10-day free trial. If you go to tacticalarbitrage.com and type in the promo code Rockstar, capital letters Rockstar, not S, not Rockstars, but just Rockstar.
Not Z.
Not Z. So you do get 10 days free trial. We do get a kickback off of that. So if you choose to support us,
Thank you.
We appreciate that so much.
Yep. It is a really amazing software, though.
I've been using it every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
You can find these things on your own, but it's going to take you a really long time. And by the time you find these items, they're probably sold out, to be honest.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like any software or program or service out there, it's all stuff you can do on your own, but it's just you're not paying for necessarily the product itself, the service, the software. You're paying for the convenience.
Mm-hmm.
Like I use TA not because I don't know how to find stuff manually by myself, but because it saves me hours every single day.
Yeah.
I can go into tactical arbitrage after scanning a whole website overnight, and I can spend an hour in there, make 10 to 20 purchases, and I'm done for the day, at least in OA. Then I can go out and do my RA and then anything else I have going on. Rather than sitting down at the computer for 6 hours and manually going through all those categories.
Yep.
It's always, you're just saving time.
For sure. And there's so many, like, I didn't even know about all of the intricate workings of tactical arbitrage till I started talking to Charles more about it and like asking him to show me what was going on. And there's like all of these, well, I'm just thinking about all of the shortcuts and things that you make to source these particular items, like
and once you learn how to
or whatever,
and once you learn how to use it, then you do what we just did. We signed up for a second account because TA will only be able to run one website at a time if you're doing a regular product search. So now that I have a system down for how I source with it and how I go through my list in the morning, now that we have that down, we got a second account so we can run 2 different websites and we can potentially order twice as much inventory the next day.
Yep.
So that's kind of what we're working on right now.
Yep.
When sourcing, is it worth it to buy items that have been put on clearance due to seasonal changes, such as beach towels? That is going to depend on how long you want to hold on to them.
Yeah.
We typically lean towards the business model of fast nickel. I go for super fast flips. I'll take as low as 30% ROI on items as long as they're going to be quick. Something like buying beach towels or right now Halloween stuff, like those aren't going to sell. There might be a few sales, but they're not really going to sell until next year. So
but if I will say that if you have the storage and the capital for it, we have bought a few seasonal things, especially at the end of the summer. Those like those pull floaties, they were like these little.
Oh yeah,
you remember those?
Paid like 50 cents a piece or something.
50 cents each. We bought like 100, I think.
Yeah.
It was something like that. Basically, it was like this little basket that you put around a regular pool noodle. and it like made a chair out of the pool noodle. Anyway,
We sold them.
so they were only this big,
We
and
sold them for like
they were flat. They were like
15? It was like 14 or
Yeah.
15 bucks.
so. That was a really and we stored a whole box of 100 in like some I don't even know where we put it, but
yeah. So
it wasn't.
it is all on
wasn't-
your capital and your storage.
Yeah, so
Um,
you just have to find the right product, but I wouldn't say to go up and buy everything in the Walmart clearance right after Halloween, because and that the other thing is that if you're thinking about sending those into Amazon for next year, you don't know if those SKUs are going to be there.
And you've got your storage fees.
Yeah.
So if you do buy them for Amazon purposes, eBay, you store your stuff anyways, so it doesn't matter. But Amazon, don't go buy up a load of Halloween stuff right now. Even if you can sell them for a great profit next year, do not send them to Amazon right now, because you're going to be paying monthly storage fees, especially right now during Q4. Storage fees are 4 times as much as they usually are for Q4. Yeah, it's a little painful, but I mean, you got to deal with it, right? So
We sent in these Christmas trees last year.
Christmas trees.
They were legit, like
They were
giant.
huge.
We had 8-foot Christmas trees in our. They were in boxes,
There were
obviously.
No, 8 of them to start with.
Yeah, but they were like 8 foot.
They were huge. So
huge.
we had a storage unit luckily at the time, but we had those stored in there for like 6 months.
We didn't send them in until like November 15th because we
man.
didn't want to pay storage fees, and Amazon charges you per square feet. So, oh my gosh, they were giant.
Yeah.
They were as tall as I am, and then like I don't know, what do you think? Like 2 foot by 2 foot. It was insane.
I remember shipping them. I want to say they were like they were 45 or 50 pounds
They
each.
were so, but we still made money on those.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of big things. If the numbers check out, there's still money there.
100%.
Okay.
My rank is not that high on eBay. It's like 43, but I've had the account since 2009. Will I have a hard time selling full time on eBay? No, I think I'm assuming your rank is feedback.
Yeah, like stars that you have gotten. I would just say get consistent, see where it goes. I mean, don't quit your job until you know.
And here's the thing with eBay, guys, like eBay versus Amazon, as far as feedback goes, your star ratings for seller feedback, Amazon is it's near impossible to get those customers to leave feedback on you. So you're going to see a very low conversion on your Amazon side, but on eBay, it's very feedback. Like eBay runs on feedback. It's the fuel source. So as long as you stay consistent, you're going to get way more than those 43. We just crossed 400.
Yeah, we're getting our little accounts, our baby accounts growing.
It's growing.
Yay.
But yeah, just stay consistent and it grows in all aspects. I'd love for you guys to elaborate on the eBay, Amazon cross-selling advice you just proposed if you can. Very simple. If you can send an inventory to Amazon FBA, and you don't even have to have it listed as actively selling on Amazon. Amazon will store it and ship it for you to any other customer. So it doesn't have to be an Amazon customer. So for example, it's called multi-channel fulfillment. If you just go to, I haven't done a video on it yet, but if you go to YouTube and Google, type in multi-channel fulfillment from Amazon, there's going to be a whole list of how to do that. Super easy. There's even programs like Joe Lister. There's another one I forgot to look into. Somebody probably knows what it is. I forgot what it's called. But Joe Lister is one of the programs that will automatically sync both of them up, and you can do it that way too.
Yeah.
Super handy. I've done many of those.
Franzia box.
Which one are you looking at?
I love Franzia box.
Love the Franzia box.
Oh.
I don't know
What were
a
we talking about?
Franzia box is.
How
That's
can
James.
we
What are you
cross-
talking about?
What were we talking about?
Oh, it's probably wine.
Oh.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I haven't had that.
We kept getting wine to our doorstep, and I hated all of it.
I drink it all.
And yeah.
How can you cross post Amazon and eBay when you know when you need the product to mail
to the customer with eBay. Okay,
There's
same thing.
Amazon.
Like just Google. It takes a little bit of time to explain it, but Google multi-channel fulfillment.
Super easy.
It will make everything clear. It will be clear.
What platform have you enjoyed selling on more lately, eBay or Amazon?
eBay. Oh no, I don't. I take it back. Amazon's been so good.
Just because of the things we've been flipping on Amazon, Amazon 100% right now.
Yeah.
Cute.
Everybody loves Prime. Everybody. I always see like t-shirts, like this mom runs on Amazon Prime. Like, it's a legit shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's gearing up for Christmas and Christmas shopping. So yeah, people are definitely hitting their Prime accounts hard. How much
of your sourcing is thrift yard sale type items? Not a ton right now. A lot of it is brand new items that we're flipping on Amazon just because of garage sale season.
Well, yeah, garage sale season in Oregon is officially over.
Yeah, so right now we're in that transition. So we're getting into our cold, rainy season for the next 8 months. So we don't have garage sales until next spring.
But I would say that about, I don't even know, like 80% of our, maybe higher, maybe like 90% of our eBay store is all used.
Yeah, eBay is all like thrift stores, garage sales,
so
Goodwills. So that's all eBay is. Amazon, I'm definitely on, like, I want new condition stuff in there.
Yep.
So it's all retail arbitrage and OA.
PL is private label. It is another source of income for people who do Amazon.
We do not do any drop shipping.
No.
I've dabbled into drop shipping and I ran into a few stock issues, and ever since I got burned over a couple times, I'm like, nope, I'm out.
The other thing that bugs me about drop shipping is that you don't see the product. And so especially if you're drop shipping to an Amazon customers expect really high quality. They don't want to, some of them don't even really like to see box damage, or, like little boxing around the corners of a box or something. I don't know. I don't like not having my eyes on what we're sending in. So it's a preference.
Unless you're drop shipping specifically from a distributor or manufacturer, they can guarantee stock and it's in new condition. There's no way I would ever trust a third party with our items. It's the same thing. I had this conversation inside of our Rockstars group yesterday. Somebody was asking, how do you get a China supplier to directly ship to your Amazon FBA fulfillment center? There's no way I would do that personally, just because I need to quality check our items first. Yeah.
And Andrea, I don't know if we don't do drop shipping, so I don't know if TA would work for that. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you can.
It seems like
there's a few ways you might be able to make it work. I want to recommend it though.
I mean, you could.
That's me personally.
In a group, but
I'm not a fan of drop shipping personally, and that's no offense to anybody. 'Cause we know plenty of people that do very well with it. That's just not the ballgame I want to be in. I've not used Ace Inspector. I actually, for like what we've done, like we don't use a lot of softwares and tools.
We use Inventory Lab and Tactical Arbitrage.
And TA, that's about it.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Like that's
we use Scoutify on our phones.
Yeah, there's no.
And we use the seller.
eFlip.
We do use eFlip.
Yeah, eFlip. I love eFlip, so we use that.
And then we use the Amazon app.
Can you not just open the same account in different browsers instead of getting a second account? No, you cannot, unfortunately.
Yeah, no.
Different ones. It runs off of IP address and all that kind of stuff. And it's in their TOS. So I mean, and I personally know the owner, Alex, and super awesome guy as far as the software side goes. So he can work with you on anything you need. Yeah. Let me clarify. I forgot to mention the second account that we got. Alex will do a second account for half the price. So it's 40. Well, we got in before the
increase.
Less, a little bit less. So we got in before the increase. So we pay $45 for a second account. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the current price is for a second account, but it's not the full price.
And one of the things that like Alex will close it to new people for a little while because he's always doing improvements on the software. So it's not just like this dead software that, it's not like actively improving. He's always got things going on. So it's really good.
James says OA tools work great until the main retailers start flagging your address or IP as a reseller. Target and Walmart both have done this to me. Yes, you do have to be.
Wow, I've never heard of them actually flagging people.
Oh yeah, they'll shut accounts down. No. There's one guy in one of our groups that they banned him off Target.com. Like he can't buy off Target.com.
That sucks.
So Target is not reseller friendly if you did not know that. They do not like resellers. So you do have to be very, very cautious on how many items you're ordering on the websites at a time.
Yeah.
Walmart's way more lenient, but I mean, don't go in and try to order 500 of something. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be a little strategic with it sometimes.
Yeah.
So funny.
Okay.
Can I just send Amazon to 5 books in the first shipment? Thank you for your help. You can. You're going to pay more in shipping, though. The bigger you can make your shipment going to Amazon's warehouse, the better discount you're going to get on your shipping costs. So yes, you can send 3 or 5 books in, but books being so heavy, you're going to pay way more than $1 per pound.
Just find some good textbooks. It doesn't take very many.
Yeah.
You'll hit your pound quota. What's the breaking point? I think it's like over 25, then 25 pounds.
Yeah, 25 to 30 pounds
start
is
to
usually
see better.
a pretty sweet spot. Chad Christian.
Hi.
What up, dude? My brother Chad here is man, we got some history. This dude was,
like, I don't even know. When we first got married, I feel like you just started
it was
talking to Chad.
even before that.
Really?
We're talking like 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
Me and this guy were in contact, and he was one of our first sponsors in another business too.
Yeah.
So shout out to my brother Chad there. He's actually got a tech channel. So awesome,
Yeah.
like tech reviews, unboxing videos. Go check him out. Look up Chad Christian. Just so I have the proper plug for you, brother. I'm actually
You should
gonna
probably look him up.
get your website. I don't remember what the actual name was of it. Hopefully it pops up on the, here we go. Yeah, just look up Chad Christian, Coach CWC. Oh, I should have known that. It's the same name you were using before too. Yeah, so go check him out if you like tech reviews, unboxing videos. Dude's got some good stuff. Already answered the drop shipping question. Did we talk about merch at all? No, we did not, because I've been super lazy and have not messed with it. As of this morning, I started uploading again. So I uploaded 2 merch designs this morning. Right now we're at the tier 100 and we get to upload 2 per day. So I cannot wait to be able to do that 10 per day. I'm all in with it though. I'm going to be very diligent and fill those 2 slots every day now.
We met a few people actually on the cruise who were
doing really well.
Working their merch accounts, and just made us realize what we're missing out on. We need to get on this. So
yeah, so we're on it officially.
We're on it.
Thanks for a tip on selling remote controls, DVD players, VCR players, universal remotes for TVs. It definitely made money with that tip. Nice, Steven.
Nice.
Good to hear. Yeah, you guys go back and watch our Flips and Finds series. I think we've done 4 episodes now, and we give you guys, like, especially during garage sale season when we're doing a ton of garage sales, we give you guys like everything good that we're flipping that you guys can go hunt.
Yeah. So
I know
Sam,
Sam keeps jumping to the bottom.
You're going to OA mostly due to the time constraints. If so, solely TA or grocery. We do grocery. We do RA. We do OA. Basically, where we can find stuff is, I mean, we don't discriminate. Money's money. Obviously, if we don't have the time, we're not going to spend hours driving around. So it just depends.
Yeah, Justin, that's exactly why we're focusing on OA, because OA is a huge time saver. Instead of having to drive out to the stores and physically scan stuff, which is great if you know exactly what you're going in for. You can go in and snipe those deals. Yeah. And Justin's in our VIP group, so he knows, like, I share some of those deals that we're talking about. So it's different when you know exactly what you're going into a store for. But I'm not in stores spending hours scanning anymore because I use OA to do that for me. And the cool part with TA is you can do a scan on, let's say, Walmart.com. It will pop out with some profitable items. And if you can buy a few online, or even if they're sold out online, you can use that item and go find it in a store. So there's been a lot of times where I don't even put in an OA order. I just write down I take a screenshot of what that product is and I go get it because I can ship it out that same day.
And you can ask the employees to run the SKU number for you.
Yeah.
And they can tell you how many of that SKU they have in that store.
And sometimes, depending on how great of a relationship you get, I know some people, they walk in and they will actually be able to have one of the managers order more for them.
Yeah.
If they commit to like case packs, they'll order more for them.
Just depends. So FBA versus FBM. So fulfillment by merchant. versus fulfillment by Amazon. The difference is that Amazon is fulfilling the item. Obviously, we're sending it to Amazon. They're holding it for us until it sells, and then they ship it out. The other way to do it is the merchant. So you actually keep it in your home, in your garage or your warehouse or whatever, and then when it sells, you send it to the customer.
And they're asking which one would be better for the 5 books that they got for $250. The profit will be $222 before shipping. Not sure whether to wait for more or FBA them. Honestly, I would FBA them just because FBA, you have more Prime customers that are willing to spend more on the book. So you might actually be able to make a little bit more than $222.
Yeah.
So get them into FBA.
So
plus you get cheaper shipping that way too.
Yeah. You do get cheaper shipping.
It might balance. I mean, I haven't done the math. It might balance itself out because you do pay a little bit more for the fees, but you do get a bigger discount on your shipping.
Yeah.
But it works either way. There's plenty of people doing merchant filled books only, and they're doing great with it. But me personally, I'm a big fan of FBA just because Prime members will pay more for inventory. I sold an item today for $90 that should be selling for $60.
Yeah.
Because the merchant people are doing $60.
Yeah. A lot of people who have Prime only will buy Prime. There's a spot on Amazon where you can click Prime only, and that's all they want to buy because they don't want to spend shipping. They don't want to pay for shipping when they've already paid for their Prime account. They'll pay more for the item plus the shipping if they could just have the convenience of having it in 2 days, knowing they'll have it in 2 days. They've already paid the shipping with Prime. So you get a wider net. We've very consistently sold things for a higher price on FBA rather than merchant.
And we're talking literally 99% of the time.
Yeah.
You will always get a better price. What are some basic items you sent to FBA when you're first starting out? My first good items were these Avengers puzzles that I found. They're discontinued. This was 2 years ago, so I know somebody's writing this down. You're not going to find them.
Where did you find them?
If you do, please let me know.
Yeah.
I sold several hundred units from Dollar Tree of this specific Avengers puzzle. There were many of them, but it was just this one. I scanned probably 100 different puzzles in that store. It was just this one. And I went several hundred deep on it. And we bought for $1. The first sale was on Thanksgiving Day. My first sale ever was that puzzle on Thanksgiving Day for $7.49.
You have a weird memory.
I have a very weird memory. So once it started to catch traction, I'm like $7.49, $7.49, $7.49. I wonder if I can get $8.49, $8.49, $8.49. So I went up and I left it at $12.99. I was selling these puzzles at. Those were some of my first ones was puzzles.
That totally blows my mind. If we found that deal today, we'd still be all over it.
Oh man, that was good.
That was really cool.
Yeah. So it was when you first start, it's everything and anything. You're doing the typical walking up and down the clearance aisles first. If anything, build those relationships with the employees and the managers. Trust me, if I can go back, I would have done that way, way sooner.
Did somebody give us a super chat?
Did they? Mr. Chad Christian.
Thanks, Chad.
Thank you, brother.
Woo.
Again, go check out Chad Christian. Link yourself up, dude.
Yeah.
Drop a link to your channel.
I think he might have left, but if he
didn't.
He
did. Awesome. Love you, brother. So go check out Chad Christian. Runs a tech channel, unboxing videos, all that fun stuff, all the new tech too. We're not talking he unboxes 2-year-old stuff. He's getting the brand new stuff.
Yeah.
How's the 5 a.m. wake up challenge going? Here's the thing with the 5 a.m. wake up challenge. I've been in a weird situation with my son. So
he's using our 2-year-old.
I am using the 2-year-old. So there's
you have no shame.
There's two parts. Yes, I've been waking up at 5 a.m. I've not gotten out of bed at 5 a.m. though, and here's why. So Trista with her leg,
yeah.
Our son is a very hard kicker in his sleep.
Yeah.
And
we've been gone so much that we never let him sleep in our bed, but we've been gone so much.
So we've been soaking up that cuddly time with him.
A bad parent, so we're spending a little more snuggle time.
Yeah. So Trista's had to sleep on the couch so she doesn't get kicked because her knee, if that thing gets kicked, it's gonna be bad. So she can't get that hurt again for right now. So she's been sleeping on the couch, which means I've been sleeping in bed with my little guy, and he's been doing this thing recently where he's asleep, but he subconsciously like feels me getting out of bed, and he'll do this. If he feels me get out of bed, he'll go like this.
He'll like trap you.
And if I try to move his arm, he'll like open up his eyes and be like, "Daddy, stay, like snuggle me." And I'm like, "Oh." So here's my routine. I've been waking up at 5. I'm following it, but I haven't been able to like get out of bed and go to the gym at 5:30 like I want to because of that situation. So what I do is I hop on my phone and I start going through my DMs. I'm hitting my messages. I'm hitting my, I'm checking like all my accounts for different things. So that's what my routine's been like. So I've been getting up at 5. It's just not how I thought it was going to be. So that's going to change tomorrow. I'm going to just, if he's going to whine, he's going to whine, but
Yeah.
I need to get up and like moving to get the full benefit from it. It has been good though. It's cool because it's forcing me to go to bed early, which is not something I do. Like right now it's almost 8 o'clock here and I'm probably going to go to bed in like an hour.
Yeah.
So
How long have we been live? Does it say?
I started about 6:30, about an hour and a half.
Oh my gosh.
So
we
shout
gotta
out
wrap this
shout
up.
out to you
Thanks,
guys who are still here.
There's 57 people here.
It's amazing.
That's really cool. Okay. We're going to get through some questions really fast. And then you need to talk to James about merch stuff. Drinks on me. Uncle Chad loves you guys.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
We gotta get down to
Um,
Florida.
We do. It has some shipping on. Determine which shipping options you go with. How do you determine? Oh, I'm sorry, for eBay. So when I'm listing stuff, I'm basically taking into account how much things weigh, and then I kind of pick my shipping based on that. I would say pretty consistently, I'm USPS. If it fits in a flat rate and it makes sense, that's the way I go. You can get free poly mailers. They're the bubble ones from USPS online. You could just get them to your doorstep. They'll mail them to you for free. And they're like, it's just a padded envelope. And then all of the shipping, you can go to any post office and pick up the boxes. So those are all free too. It's really hard to pass up
nice.
free packaging.
Heavier stuff we've been doing FedEx Smart Post.
Smart Post
turned to be the cheapest.
But sometimes not. And
Yeah,
it's kind of hit and miss. It
50-50.
depends on where in the country it's going.
And sometimes too, like you can get a medium or a large flat rate, and if it's a heavy item, that's been some of the cheaper things we've gone with on those.
So if it's but kind of large but really light, I'll send it FedEx. We do Smart Post, but just keep in mind it takes up to 9 days. So sometimes buyers don't like that and they won't buy your item just because of the shipping time.
Yeah, and the only thing I don't like about FedEx, like it's a mind game because it's the same amount either way.
Yeah.
But if you do FedEx doesn't deduct so let me back up. If you ship something with USPS, like your account is charged right then and there for that shipping. FedEx will tag onto your monthly eBay fee, like that fee that comes in every month. So that's the part I don't like that. So when we ship a lot of FedEx, I get that thing and I'm like,
yeah, our eBay bill is way bigger.
It was like
usually.
$800 last month, and I'm like, oh, I should not have shipped. Even though you're paying the same amount, I don't know, it just messes with me mentally.
So we like USPS. I guess it also just depends on like what you're selling consistently. Like most of the clothes that I sell are under a pound, so I can ship first class, and everything usually turns out to be around $3. So super cheap. Can you sometimes
Actually, I
get
want to
into
cover
trouble
that
listing?
one.
Oh,
Yeah, you're
which
like
one?
flying down these comments.
I'm sorry. That's the one we were just talking about.
Where's the one I was? Oh, I jumped ahead. I'm sorry. I was looking at this one. Because I was looking at James answered right there. What do you do when it's winter and no tag sales and garage sales? I get super sad.
Yeah.
That's what I get.
We still buy stuff on Marketplace and sometimes Craigslist.
Now that we're home and not traveling like crazy,
we thrift.
We're gonna come up with a thrift store schedule.
Yeah.
So like
1 day a week will just be thrifting day for eBay.
1 day I was gonna do twice.
Well, it just depends.
I'm doing twice.
I mean, I do the bins every
Yeah, that's right.
week,
You do
so
the
I'm
bins.
I've already got one day a week.
Yeah, the thing
And
is, like
then-
with the Portland, like Salem,
Salem.
Portland, Salem area in Oregon, like we've got so many thrift stores. It's gonna be
Yeah.
hard to hit all of them one day. So I'm gonna split up 2 days for me.
Yeah.
Since I'm already out doing like retail arbitrage so much, anyways. So that's what we're gonna do to replace it is thrift stores.
Okay.
All right, here's the one I want to get.
Oh, he loves the condition guidelines.
Do books?
He's a master at it. It like freaks me out.
You have to
'cause
be.
I
have messed up. Oh man, if you guys can see the shit I got away with, I will never break a condition guideline rule again. I've been in some friggin' hot water with Amazon a few times because of my newbie mistakes. So
Yep.
I'm very hard on them now.
and with those things, you put your pride down.
Mm-mm.
You admit
Nope.
you are at fault. They don't need you, people.
Do books have to be in immaculate condition to be new? I have one book which has the tiniest line mark, which can only be seen in certain lighting. Everything else is perfect. Would that be new? All right, here's the thing, just like James said in the chat already. New books. Never list a book as new unless you have it directly from the distributor. Just that's it. Like, there's so many people that are going to thumbs down this video right now. They're going to be like, Chaz, I do it all the time.
You're doing it wrong. Yeah.
Amazon got super tough on their books over the last like 6 months. And there was a little
Books changed a lot in the last.
yeah,
6
if you guys
months.
are in
Yeah.
Facebook groups, you saw the like shift that happened in books a few months back where man, there were a bunch of people getting suspended. They were getting put on like these little probations.
Yeah.
Because of condition guidelines. A lot of it had to do with listing books as new.
Yeah.
So unless you're getting them straight from that distributor and manufacturer level, do not do new. Even if it's in pristine condition, the tiniest little mark, whatever it is, it goes like new.
And what's the harm? You're gonna
Mhm.
probably price $2 under the
You're
new
still going to make
condition.
good money.
You're still gonna make your money, and you have to ask yourself is that margin really worth your account? Is that $2 or $5 or whatever you're gonna price below the new condition?
Mhm.
Is it worth your account? I don't know.
I did the 5 a.m. no between 5 to 6 a.m. challenge. It changed my world. It's just better and gets easier. You don't even need an alarm anymore. Love it. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you get on that 5 a.m. swing and it becomes a habit, that's awesome. Are you still investing in pallets? Not at the moment. I'm going to be getting another one. I have money to use with one company, so I'm going to use that to get another pallet through these guys. But as far as like regular, consistent pallets, unless I'm getting from a wholesale source, like I'm kind of over the whole liquidation stuff. We might actually, let me take that back. I've wanted to try one for eBay because when we did pallets, we weren't
Yeah.
doing eBay.
That's true.
I would like to try a pallet for eBay and just see how it does. So we might think about doing that.
Oh my gosh, Sam, where are you? Are you in the U? Is Sam in the UK?
Yeah, it must be.
It's 3 a.m. there. Dude,
Oh my gosh.
you should go to bed.
That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for all your time. You both are my favorites. I appreciate your
Aw.
share. Have a good night. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Have a
Thank
great
you.
night. Cool. Well, now is last call.
This is it.
Last call. If you got questions, drop them here.
UK. Oh, I was right. UK. We have so many sellers from the UK in our group. It's really cool, actually.
I just hired
Yeah.
my video editor I just hired this morning is from the UK.
Nice.
His name's Ross. Seems like a nice guy.
From Friends,
It better be.
but the UK version.
But the UK version. Anthony, yes, I do liquidation pallets for eBay. It stinks. Dang it.
It stinks.
No bueno. I'm still gonna try one. If you guys haven't learned by now, like
Yeah.
this is why I bought my very first pallet 2 years ago from bulk.com, which most of you probably have seen that video that went kind of mini viral in here.
Mhm.
I bought that pallet after everyone told me not to, because I'm not the type that trusts other people's opinions. Like
We have to fail on our own.
I have to just get in, and it's like I always
It's probably not great.
I
but-
correlate it this way. So many people are like, oh my gosh, don't go see that movie. It sucks. Don't go see that movie. There's this one scene. It's like, it doesn't end well. Like they always say like, don't go watch this movie. I watch it and I friggin' love it. So I took that mentality into the business. I'm like, maybe I should just try this stuff on my own and see how I like it. So that's good. I like that somebody gave a little insight though, because I've never done an eBay pallet before, so I really want to try one.
It would depend on the items too. Where I love shipping clothes on eBay because there's like almost no cost to shipping, especially
There's a fly.
fruit flies.
I'm gonna punch 'em.
So I don't want to be shipping like vacuum cleaners in eBay.
Which I have flipped a vacuum.
We have, but it's a pain.
One of my actually technically my very first OA flip was when I was brand new. I was like 3 months in, and I found a vacuum on Groupon and to talk about, there was no brand restrictions. This was a Dyson vacuum cleaner. It was refurbished. I bought it for $180. I think I sold it for like $350. I made like a $60 profit on it.
Yeah, with the shipping.
That was
it's terrible.
not a good flip. I still made a little bit of money, but it was not a fun flip that was huge. So if I have new books, would it be better to sell them on eBay instead if they're perfect instead of putting them on Amazon as used? No, put them on Sam, put them on Amazon as used like new. If they are in new condition, put them used like new. And you just put that in the condition notes and let the customer know this is pristine condition, no marks. You can even put in there never read, never open, whatever type of terminology you want to use. Used is still gonna be a really, really good one for you. And guys, here's the thing with used. Everyone thinks if you sell used, you're not going to get as much money. Like if it's a $80 book and it's going new buy box for $80, I would come in at like $74.99.
Yep.
And most of the time I'm going to sell it. If you need to drop it to like $70, only $10 cheaper, you're still going to make a good deal on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Used conditions can sell just as well as the new ones. Especially if like these college students, if it's a textbook, college students love to save $1. If they check a listing and they see, well, I can get basically a new one that's in good condition for $10 cheaper, they're going to do it.
Can you get the buybacks with a used book versus new?
No, you cannot. That is the one downfall. But books are the one I think, because a lot of regular customers, they don't know you can check through like used items on like electronics and different things. I think most people know that you can check on used books.
Yeah.
Most customers know that, so they will go through there. So even though you're not rotating through the buy box, which is the one downfall, your listing is still going to be searched through manually.
Yep.
Just because for some reason, people know books are being sold used on there.
Okay.
All right.
Guys,
I think we're out of time.
Been so awesome. I can't believe we've been talking for an hour.
Thank you guys. You all are awesome.
That's so cool.
This has been Side Hustle Pros Live.
Fun. Thank you.
We will be back starting next Tuesday. Are we thinking 7?
Yeah, 7.
Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific time, which is 10 p.m. Eastern time, is going to be our new show. This was just open Q&A session, so it just kind of went on as long as we needed it to, but our shows will stay underneath an hour.
Yep.
For a regular show. So
and we have a collab coming. Can I say that?
We can't name
names. We won't name names. We're gonna collab with somebody. No. Don't do it. I will tell on you. You know I will. We have a collab coming up on Sunday, so just keep your eyes peeled. We'll do a little shout out.
It's gonna be a fun one.
We're really excited. Really cool channel. I almost said it.
It's gonna be fun. Stay tuned. Sunday we're doing a collab with somebody. It will be live, so we'll get you guys a link you can tune into live if you want to. But aside from that,
I'm excited.
Peace out, crew. You all have a great night. We'll see you next time.